Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 536. My name is Zach.
And my name is James.
We're here to talk about movies and movie obsession and movie lists with you for the next hour or so. How's that sound, James?
Sounds great, especially since I'm sitting in your home.
We're at, Site A.
Is this Site A? I think Site A is Zoom at this point. This is Site B.
Wait, you reassigned Site A?
I'm just saying.
To Zoom?
The vast majority of them are on Zoom at this point.
So the site letters, it's a rotating list of priority rather than a immutable location. Like, is it carved in metal or in jello is what I'm asking.
I just think Site A is your primary, right? And B is your alternate.
It's
and
so fleeting.
At one point, this was definitely Site A, but it is no longer Site A anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
All right. I've been replaced by a digital medium.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, that's how it happens.
Well, welcome
right?
to Site B, James.
I can't wait until we are completely replaced by a digital medium. People will be listening to this podcast. It'll just be two AI goofs arguing about stuff.
Can we input like 25 things about us and it just imitates us better than ourselves?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
AI is getting really good. Do you want to tell people at home the latest AI thing that you've gotten access to?
Yeah, the how we deep faked Kyle for the last 30 episodes.
We want to make an announcement now. Kyle doesn't exist in the real world.
All right.
He is he's a persona that we've created using very cheap AI technology.
Yep. Surprised nobody caught on. That feels pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, come on, all the mispronunciations. Come on.
I know. Hey, it's a learning algorithm, all right? You got to give him time to learn.
Our trial ran out, and so
he's off the podcast.
He's off the podcast. Yeah.
I actually do have a client that I'm making a video for. They're paying me to make this video, and they're like, who do you recommend to do voiceover? And I was like, well, we'll just hire somebody off the internet. And then they're like, I want an AI person to generate the voice just in case I want to change it later. I don't want to have to pay a human to re-record it.
Wow. That
I was like, wow, I am glad I'm not a voiceover person.
I know. Because it makes reasonable sense, right?
Absolutely.
They don't want to have to pay someone. And if the AI is good enough, that makes sense. It's just, that's a shame.
And it's like $40 a month for as much voiceover as you want.
Yeah.
By this AI voiceover. Yeah. There's like 50 voices you can pick from.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can't read a word, you just tell the company and they train it to say the word for you.
That's perfect.
Yeah. It's perfect for me, not perfect for voiceover people, for sure.
Yeah, not for them.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, Kyle is not here because he's on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
He's going on like a 3-week vacation. Is that right?
It's a long one. I don't think it's that long, but yeah.
I don't think he'll be here for 3 episodes.
Well, it's like a long vacation and then some added stuff on.
Gotcha.
Like themselves are short. But
sure.
Yeah.
He's earned it, I guess.
I think technically his wife has earned it.
It's probably. Yeah.
He's along for the ride.
For sure.
But I know he's gonna have an amazing time. Are we allowed to say where he's going?
I think he wanted to say when he got back.
He privacy conscious? Oh, he wanted to say. No, you wanted him to save it.
Was that what it was?
I think he was all about it, and you're like, no, let's not tell people.
We got to keep people in suspense.
Yeah.
He's going to see the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, right?
That's one of the little things at the end.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
On his way back.
Sure.
Yeah.
So no Kyle this week, but you've got the old Cinereelist crew here.
The OGs.
The OGs. Back in the same room live for the first time in quite a while.
This is not where we started the podcast.
I don't literally mean the same room. I mean like one room.
Yeah.
We are in the same room.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment.
I'm looking at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a very convincing.
Our AI is learning as well.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure. Thanks for listening. This is episode 536. In this episode, we're going to talk the new release movie, Elvis. And we're also going to run down the top 6 films of Baz Luhrmann. We're going to rank them in order of preference.
Yeah. And I ranked them on my other computer, but I think it'll be pretty easy to re-rank them.
My other computer.
Wait, is that fancy?
Well, I mean, it's not third world, that's for sure.
You don't know how old it is. It could be a very...
I only have one computer, so
Wow.
I mean, unless you count the one I don't use.
Ding.
That's old.
Ding, ding, ding.
Actually, if you count all the computers I don't use, I probably have like 4 or 5.
Whoa.
Not to brag, but I got 4 or 5 computers I don't use.
But yet you keep.
They're all old laptops that probably have something on the hard drive that I want, but I'll never remember that's there.
Get on that.
Basically.
Yeah.
I actually have like a whole box of hard drives that I'm never going to comb through.
Okay.
And yet, what am I supposed to do with them?
Why won't you comb through them? They got to be small enough that it has to be easy.
No, I mean, these are like hard drives from 10 years ago. They're still like 512 gigs. And guaranteed there's like one photo on there that I'm not going to want to just completely trash.
Okay.
But I didn't have enough forethought to stay organized as far as photos go and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oops.
It's a dilemma for sure.
That is a dilemma.
All
right. Like I said, it was pretty easy to recreate that list.
I stalled just long enough.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Took longer to spell Australia than to.
Sure. Do you have any check-ins?
I don't have any check-ins.
Okay.
I don't have any check-ins. I recently made a list of all the movies my daughter has seen.
All of them?
All that I could remember.
How many? Roughly?
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's behind the pace of when you were growing up or in front of the pace?
Good question. Probably.
I'm sure you don't remember this.
I would say behind. No, probably in front of. Just because how easy it is to watch movies at home now. When I was growing up, I mean, we didn't have streaming. I don't think we owned a VCR.
So you saw the movies that were on TV.
On TV, you know.
You didn't go to the theaters?
Not before I was 4.
Sure.
I think the first movie I went to, I was probably 6 or 7.
Wow.
In the theater.
Your family just didn't go, or they just didn't take you?
One of the two. One of the two.
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
Does it ever blow your mind that like you're, not to be depressing, but you're like home with your kids having fun? Does it ever like just brush the top of your brain that like they're not going to remember any of this?
Oh, I think about it constantly because my daughter is still 3.
Oh,
I don't have any memories from 3,
right,
2 or 1, and so literally her entire life she won't have a single memory from. Like everything that I've experienced with her, all the fun times, no memory whatsoever. Next year she'll have like 7 memories. And she'll only remember the bad things that happen, right? Because I think most
the falls or the dog nipped at her.
Yeah, your first
something.
memories are just like all negative kind of things that happened.
Sure.
Yeah, it's I think about that all the time. It's fascinating.
But I mean, she'll have a memory vibe, right? That she didn't have a horrible first 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I think it'll be binary.
Right.
But yes, yeah, I think she'll have a good vibe.
Sure.
Yeah.
A memory vibe.
Yeah, we're putting her into life with good vibes.
If there was a pill you could take, you can tell we're in the same room because we're not moving on at all.
No.
If there was a pill you could take that gave you your memory from the point of conception till when you gained, natural memory, would you take that pill?
Sure.
Not me.
Why not?
I mean, I'm fine. I don't need to know what happened during that time.
Okay. You don't need to know. Is that the bar?
Yeah.
To take
that's
the pill?
The bar. I trust that the people around me took good enough care. I don't need to know what they did wrong.
This is not checking up on them.
I'm just saying I don't want, no, not going to happen. Why rock the boat?
Why rock the boat? What?
I mean, if I had a feeling
rocking?
Internally that like something was wrong in that time period, then I'd be like, we need to know. But I'm pretty sure nothing was wrong.
No. I equate it to the same. What if What if 4 years of your adult life
Uh-huh.
disappeared from your memory, just like snapped out of existence because you took the wrong pill? Okay.
Right. Well, there's another reason not to take the pill.
No, you took a pill that you shouldn't have taken. It zapped 4 years from your memory.
Right.
Then someone says, "Here, I'll give you this pill and you can have your 4 years back." Would you take that pill?
Yeah, because I already lived it.
Well,
And I was an adult.
sure.
Somebody else wasn't in charge of me when I was an infant and couldn't take care of myself anyway.
To me, it's the same thing. I'd be curious what happened in those lost 4 years. Did I have fun? Did I play with cool toys?
Don't you think as an adult, if you took that pill and then could remember like the first 6 months of your life where you were just like this babbling idiot laying in a bed, like just cooing at everything, that would just be a living nightmare?
No, because babies are very happy, right? So you
Not
just have-
always.
No, not always. But
I cried far more as a baby than I have as an adult.
How do you know?
Guaranteed.
Well, yeah, guaranteed. I'm just saying you would have all these pleasant, warm memories of being in your swaddle and,
It would be memories of like not being able to control my limbs. That's nightmarish.
But you didn't feel, who knows how you felt.
But now you're remembering it as an adult. So you're applying all those things.
There are some people that claim that they have extremely early memories, and I don't believe those claims, but they stand by. Sometimes I'll ask people, what's your earliest memory? And they'll say like, 6 months. And I was like, there's no way.
What's your earliest memory?
Probably 4.
But what is it though?
Yeah, I think my earliest memory, I have a few, but I think my earliest memory is I was in my car seat in our van on a highway, and I was buckled into the car seat, but the car seat wasn't buckled into the seat of the car. And my dad had to slam on the brakes on the highway, and I just went floop forward onto the
rolled over
onto
in
the
floor.
Onto the floor of the van. I think that's my first memory.
Like face down.
Yeah.
So back. That's hilarious. Were you small enough that like your head wasn't smashed against the ground?
I wasn't bloody afterwards or anything like that.
Sure.
Now, it's always funny with those kind of memories. You're like, that sounds a little crazy. So is that a fake memory? Is that
you haven't asked?
I think I've asked. I think it's been confirmed.
Okay.
But that could be a fake memory too.
Sure.
Could be turtles all the way down. What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is when I was a kid in California, my sister, who was a year and a half older than me, you know how like sliding glass doors, right? In California, there were snails all over the place. We don't really have those in Florida, but they were like all over the place.
I remember the snails.
And my sister, who was just a year and a half older than me, picked up a snail out of the gutter of the sliding glass door and then ate it. And my mom freaked out and like grabbed her and like dug it out of her mouth. And I remember witnessing this. And that's my first memory.
That's great.
Is seeing Jessica eat a snail and having my mom watch her do it and freak out.
That's amazing. This is another memory about snails, because I lived in California too.
Sure.
And my sister, I forget if it was snails or dirt, but one of them, she like had a bad habit of eating. She either had a bad habit of eating snails or dirt.
Sure.
And I remember that.
I have another memory. This isn't an early one, but this is in Illinois, my sister, the one who ate the snail, and my cousin, who was the same age, they had a competition to see how many rocks they could stick up their nose.
Oh.
And by rocks, I don't mean like big rocks, like little
pebbles,
tiny pebbles.
That's
and they both stuck so many rocks up their nose, they had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
And the doctors had to like pull them out of the nose.
Both of them.
Because they were like way, way back there.
Because they were stuffing them back. Oh, yeah.
They were stuffing them back till it hurt. And then the adults found out about it.
Yeah. That's funny.
I watched my sister, the one the closest to me, get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, kids are idiots.
Yeah. I got away with a lot because she was constantly in trouble. And when I was bad, I was quietly in trouble. She was like, she couldn't hide anything, for sure. Welcome to the podcast again.
Yeah.
This is where we actually talk about movies, believe it or not. Don't forget, there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search Cinereelists, find us there, and listen while you watch.
Or watch while you listen.
Or watch while you listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. You could leave us an Apple podcast review, 5 stars only. We'd appreciate that. Or you could send us a listener email to heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. We got like 1 or 2 this week. They're kind of like accumulating. So if you want to get in on the next listener email episode, fire us an email.
Shoot it off.
Anything else before we jump into Elvis?
Let's do Elvis talk.
All right. We're going to talk about it right after this clip.
Come on, you gotta get on in. They've already announced you on the radio. Come on, let's go.
He's a young singer from Memphis, Tennessee. Give him a warm hayride welcome to a Mr. Elvis Presley.
Get a haircut, buttercup.
In that moment, I watched that skinny boy transform into a superhero.
That was Elvis, a 2022 biographical musical drama directed by Baz Luhrmann and written by him and 3 other people. This movie stars Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, amongst others. The official IMDb plot synopsis for Elvis is: from his childhood in Tupelo, Mississippi, to his rise to stardom starting in Memphis, Tennessee, and his conquering of Las Vegas, Nevada, Elvis Presley becomes the first rock and roll star and changes the world with his music. I felt like I was reading an atlas or something. It's like all these very specific locations. So we saw Elvis. It's a Baz Luhrmann movie who makes a very specific kind of movie, I would say, generally. And it's a biopic or a biopic.
Yeah.
Depending on how you want to say it.
Biopic.
What do you think of Elvis?
I'm more curious what you thought of Elvis.
Really?
Yeah.
I doubt
guesses.
that. I think I'm more curious.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. Why would you be more curious what I think about?
Well, first, you're not a boss head.
Not to your level.
No, hold on. Not just.
I don't have a problem with Baz Luhrmann. What are you talking about?
I didn't say you had a problem with Baz Luhrmann. You're not a boss head.
What does that mean?
Are you claiming to be a boss head? You're saying I'm a boss head.
I'm saying that you like him more than I do.
That's fine.
But I don't dislike him.
I didn't say you did.
But I'm not running out to see every movie he makes.
Yeah,
that's what
you're not a boss head. And how many Baz Luhrmann of his 6 had you seen 2 weeks ago?
Let's see. 2.
Okay, 2 of the 6.
But I liked those.
That's fine. No problem there. Okay, you're not a boss head, right? He's not a draw that's going to make you go see him.
Of the 2 I had seen, I wouldn't say that I was clamoring for every movie he released.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay,
but there's not too many filmmakers where that is true.
Absolutely. I don't know why you're so defensive about not being a boss head.
How dare you call me defensive?
Okay. So you're a defensive non-boss head.
Uh-huh.
And this movie's long. It's 3 hours almost.
Which I didn't realize when I
signed up.
No, I mean, I didn't realize until I was in the movie. Like I didn't bother to look. And then I was like, wow, this movie's really long.
And you didn't quite remember the details of Elvis's life. And so you're like, I don't know how much is left.
No, I mean, I roughly remembered.
Sure.
But so
I'm curious. I'm thinking maybe you're fine with this movie, but I don't think this is in the really liked category for you at all. I think this is it was fun. It was, for what it was great. It was fine.
You don't think I was annoyed by this movie?
Annoyed. You found it annoying. You found it annoying.
Okay, so I'll say that I think it's a biopic. So can we just talk spoilers? We'll not intentionally spoil things, but we're going to talk about Elvis's life.
This maybe the details are all completely wrong about Elvis's life, but it covers his life. So
right. So if
you can talk spoilers about.
You know
Elvis.
Nothing about Elvis, and you actually want to be surprised about his life, then maybe don't listen to this. But
For sure.
the chances are good. You know
Yeah.
exactly what this movie knows, mostly.
Yeah.
The first 20 minutes of the movie, I wasn't annoyed by it, but I was like, are they going to do this the whole movie? Because it was wild, I would say.
There's more going on the screen than your average music video.
Yeah. And there's definitely more going on than your average biopic. For sure. I mean, they're moving through the story quickly and
frenetic.
Baz Luhrmann never saw a cut he didn't like. That's for sure. I mean, there's so many cuts in this, and not in like a Bohemian Rhapsody way where it's like really awfully cut and it's just, it seems like they're
mindless.
They're hiding editing, or they're hiding bad performances in the editing. This feels very specific, very planned, and very fast cut.
Yeah,
for sure. And lots of like zooms into people's eyes or a sign.
A lot of push-ins.
Yeah, a ton of that. A lot of crane shots, like completely unnecessary crane shots for sure, that are on screen for 3 seconds.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of setup.
The amount of setups.
A 3-second shot. But they are rapidly telling the early days of Elvis, which are probably the least interesting. So maybe that's why it's so fast paced. But I was like borderline annoyed and also intrigued at the same time.
Because you hadn't seen a biopic like that, shot like that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like Moulin Rouge kind of has a similar energy, but they stop to like sing every now and then. Whereas the first 30 minutes of this movie just doesn't do that. It's just like boom, boom, boom. And then like maybe an hour in, it felt like it slowed down a little bit and started giving us actual dialogue, like back and forth. Like it seemed like the characters were just throwing exposition at each other in this fast cut format until he starts to get famous. And then we actually got a couple of scenes where two actors were legitimately acting together instead of just one-lining each other and moving on. And that was my favorite pace, I would say. In fact, I enjoyed that. And they never really stayed around for too long into anything for me to get bored, which was fine as long as it wasn't so fast it was annoying. I think if they had continued that first 20 to 30 minute pace through the whole thing, I would have been annoyed. But right around the time I felt like I was getting annoyed and I was asking myself, is it going to be like this the whole way? Then they slowed it down a little bit. So props to Baz. I don't know. I don't really know that much about Elvis, just like the broad facts that most people know. And I really didn't know anything about his manager. And I was surprised that the framing of this movie is majority from his perspective.
Yeah. And it's very much about their relationship with each other more than just a straight Elvis.
Right. I kind of wish they hadn't given away at the beginning, like what their relationship, how it turned out. I kind of feel like that could have been explored over the course, but instead they kind of like set you up right at the beginning and it's kind of like, okay, so we're just going to watch a movie. And
maybe because they assume a lot of people already knew. I don't know.
I think people my age with a cursory knowledge, like he died the year I was born. So I never lived in a world that Elvis lived in, but certainly Elvis has been.
Is that the biggest regret of your life?
No, I'm just saying I don't have a memory. My first memory was not Elvis and his Christmas special. You know what I mean? It was like Elvis was around because he had just died, but it was 5-6 years by the time I made memories of Elvis. And it was because this guy died before I was born, type of thing. Anyway,
do you know my first memory of Elvis's death was?
You can pinpoint your first memory of Elvis's death?
No. Well, it's just that I learned how he died, that he was accidentally shot on the set of a movie. And I only learned like 10 years ago. That's the story from The Crow. I thought for the majority of my life, I had conflated those two deaths.
I was going to say, I don't remember that part in the movie, but maybe it was there and I just breezed by it.
Yeah.
Pretty fast paced movie. I think we'll get into this when we get into other Baz Luhrmann movies. I generally like his ambition and the fact that he is very unique and he goes for it. And sometimes that works and sometimes it's confusing. I'm not sure I've ever seen one where I'm like, this absolutely didn't work. I hate this. It's always at least interesting. And I think this movie broadly lands somewhere between interesting enough to sit through and like, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't blown away.
Gotcha.
Were you blown away?
Blown away. That's not the word I would use to describe it.
Okay.
I would say I had a great time with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, so Baz Luhrmann is literally using every single editing trick in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that exists, he uses it. And he probably uses all of them in the course of 2 minutes at some point, right? Split screen and, like a Ferris wheel turning into an eye pupil and, everything, right?
Sure.
But like you said, other lesser directors might try to do something like this and it would just be awful because there's not the kind of like intelligence behind it. You absolutely know that he has thought through, mapped through, planned out, intentionally decided these things. It wasn't like he found the movie in the editing room kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And so you're definitely watching an artist, right, who's painting with film in his own unique way. And I think that's cool. Mm-hmm. I enjoy that. It doesn't feel like hacky to me. Even if like hacky directors might do some of the same things that he does.
Sure.
There's a certain like measured competence to it. It is pretty frenetic, but here's what I think. Elvis is such a larger than life persona, right? I mean, the fact that like he would do these hokey gyrations on stage that like really you watch them, they're so hokey. Mm-hmm. And women would go out of their minds screaming, right? That's mythic in a way. That's way larger than life. And Baz Luhrmann's style is larger than life. And I thought they fit each other well, especially like you said in his early career, right? You have to get a sense of like what propelled this person to become the biggest star of a generation. Mm-hmm. And first of all, Austin Butler's acting job in this, I think, is fantastic. I think
him and Tom Hanks are pretty amazing in it.
Tom Hanks, I feel maybe differently about, but like,
really,
let me talk about Austin for a second.
Okay.
It's a tough bill to play Elvis, right? Because everyone has an idea of what Elvis is like. Plus, like, he has to be a star, like absolutely a star, and to cover such a wide range of his life and all that kind of thing. And I just thought he did a fantastic job. As the movie went on, he became Elvis, in a way. I thought he just did a really, really amazing job. And I think he did the singing himself and obviously his voice and everything like that. And it was super impressive. Tom Hanks, I liked his makeup. I liked the job.
The makeup was amazing.
Yeah.
If they don't get an award for makeup.
The makeup was good. I didn't like the accent. The accent, I thought, out of context, especially in the trailer, when you hear it out of context, sounds so dumb. So dumb. I looked up a video later of the actual guy. He does not have that accent. Almost at all. If anything, it sounds like a very slight Southern accent.
Huh.
At all. And Tom Hanks went with this very weird way of talking that sounded very just from a different movie. I don't know. That was my impression. I'll send you a video of the actual guy. Looks exactly like him though.
Sure.
They really nailed the look.
Huh.
But I thought all the acting was really good. I loved all the every time he went to like a Beale Street bar or like anyone that we saw sing that like influenced him, those were all, I loved all of those performances, all those different renditions of the songs. Like that one guy, when he was peering into the shed and the guy was in that like nightclub or whatever, singing the falsetto version of the song that he later co-opted. And then they mixed them together, like remixed them. That was so cool.
Yeah, I liked the music in general, except for when they brought modern music into it.
It was odd. It wasn't bad. Like it wasn't. Smells Like Teen Spirit from Pan.
No, I agree, and it's used sparingly.
Mercilessly
and it's not really
short.
in like major moments.
Yeah,
it's just occasionally to fill in some of what Baz Luhrmann, I assume, thinks is a lull. You know what I mean?
Every time there was a shot that was held for a little more than like 5 seconds, in my head I was like, I think this is the longest shot in the movie. And then there'd be another shot an hour later that's 5 seconds long. I was like, no, this is the longest shot in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like his mom dies 5 seconds. But there's this momentum, this propulsion in the whole film that I think carried a 2.5 hour movie, right? That kept it from being languid, you know? So I like that. I appreciate that. And I'm a fan of his style. I like it. It's fun. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how I feel about him too. It's like I wouldn't say that he's among my favorite filmmakers, but he is specific enough to be notable, at least. Like in a world where there's just like a never-ending string of directors, he's at least making the movies that he wants to make the way he wants to make them.
I love that he's only made 6 movies, right? He hasn't made a Marvel movie, you know, like he just makes the movies he wants.
Well, I don't think they're looking for him, but
if they're definitely not.
You don't think he'd make a Marvel movie if they
No,
offered him?
I don't
know.
What about him makes you think that he would? Like just because anyone would, or what him specifically?
I think if
he's made Gatsby, he's made big budget movies.
Sure. Gatsby didn't do very well.
No. But they didn't know that while they're making it, but it's Leo DiCaprio, right?
Sure. I mean, they've given him a couple shots at like making really big budget movies. And from what I've seen, not many of them have turned out really huge. I feel like Marvel movies at this point kind of feels like taking a TV directing job.
Right. Which it just doesn't seem like he's interested in that.
But I think you could do it and still maintain your artistic integrity. Just like a lot of people take TV jobs. You know what I mean? It's just a thing on their resume. It's not necessarily one of your oeuvre films type of thing.
Gotcha.
He's not going to do it. But I wouldn't be shocked if they were like, I wouldn't be shocked if you were looking for a director for a movie that's coming out in 5 years and you would see a movie like Elvis and be like, what if we did something like that, but in comic book form? Fast moving with somebody who like.
They even have a comic book like section in this film.
Yeah.
Like, which actually looked really good.
For sure. I mean, the energy of the movie felt like something that I could see in a bigger budget IP style thing.
Did you ever watch his TV show?
No.
Have you heard about it?
It was on Netflix, right? For like or HBO Max, one of those.
HBO Max, maybe.
I think it was like about Motown.
Something like that. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
Yeah.
It got canceled.
Yeah. I don't feel like TV's his medium. It's too long.
It's called The Get Down.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2016. Like that was streaming, but it wasn't peak streaming. So I wonder if it would do better today. There's a lot of shows that I think if they were to release them today compared to like 2014, I think they would do better. There just wasn't enough eyeballs for like that niche-y a thing to be a big hit.
Sure. I got you. Yeah. No, this movie I enjoyed quite a bit. It made me want to watch an Elvis documentary. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Yeah. It made me want to be like, I want to compare this to something.
I mean, I find it interesting to sit with Elvis's story for like 2.5 hours in like a very specific, entertaining way. But as far as like knowing everything about Elvis, I really don't care. But I don't care about Elvis.
Sure.
One bit.
So,
and this movie didn't make me care.
I will say this. Elvis does not appeal to me at all.
Sure.
I don't care about Graceland or pink Cadillacs. I don't care about any of the
jumpsuits.
Las Vegas. I don't care about any of these things that he cares about. Right.
Right.
At all.
Peanut butter sandwiches. Why wasn't that in the movie?
Why wasn't that in the movie?
That's like a thing.
But I do care about the fact that like he was gigantic, right? He was the Beatles. He was Michael Jackson.
Sure.
And I find that so fascinating And it feels like if I don't know everything about it, I'm missing this whole of like Americana. I don't know.
No, I mean, I think you probably know enough about Elvis to live the rest of your life and generally know what you need to know about it. And what do you really, do you need to buy the lunchbox to have the experience? Like what's left that you really need to know?
Probably nothing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know the accuracy of this movie. There were some new things in it compared to what I just soaked in via being alive for 40 plus years. Maybe 40 of it conscious. And so
I'm pretty sure all of the dramatic little beats were, you know, a fictionalized version of what happened. Like things were shifted around all over the place to like converge at interesting dramatic beats. You know,
Sure.
like things didn't happen at the same time as other things as presented in this movie, pretty much across the board.
But like, did the Christmas special happen?
The Christmas special happened.
Did it revive his career?
Yes. But like the manager knew and signed off about it months ahead.
Sure.
Like those kind of things.
It wasn't
you know?
like they changed it at the last minute. Like
Obviously. But yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it looked exactly like as far what's so funny about this director is, right, he's such a stylized director, but everything looks exactly the same. Like I looked up
if there's a TV record of it.
Yeah. I looked up the TV record and it's like exactly the same. Like even and another thing Austin Butler does in his performance is he went to school on Elvis, right? So like his mannerisms are exact to what Elvis did.
Sure.
Like even in individual performances, he's doing the exact same things with his arms at the same moments. It was studied, which was interesting. Because I noticed when he's singing the Christmas special with the big Elvis words behind him,
right?
He kept like swinging his arm like over and over and over. It's like, come on, man, stop swinging your arm. And then I watched the actual performance, and Elvis is doing the exact same thing. Like I'm just always impressed when there's that similitude.
Sure. He just seems like such a corny dude.
Oh,
it's hard for me to like get
corny.
motivated to look into it more because
no, I agree.
It's like the Beatles kind of came right after him and they're just so much cooler than Elvis. He was so corny.
Yeah.
It's like, and the Beatles
they weren't even the cool ones.
Corny. You know what I mean?
The Rolling Stones were the cool ones.
Sure. Yeah. The Rolling Stones were cool too, but like the Beatles, they were a boy band, right? They sang like corny poppy love songs, and then they like changed.
Yeah.
Elvis never changed.
He didn't.
He played a cornball his entire life.
Yeah. His demographic just aged up, and he aged with them, right? And so it was then 40-year-old women going crazy about him.
Yeah. Maybe that was the issue, is he didn't like die young or something. I mean, he didn't die super young.
Okay.
He died in his 47? Is that right?
I don't know. I thought early 40s, but
was it 43?
I had 42 in my mind, which means nothing. Yeah, he's very hokey.
Yeah. I think that's a problem. I think the movie did a good job of like making him less hokey, probably by distracting us with all the shiny things on the screen.
Yeah.
Which might have been his strategy as a performer.
Oh yeah. And one thing that yeah. One thing that I'm very glad at is we just went through kind of a period of music biopics, and it is a genre that's very played out for me.
Sure.
Bohemian Rhapsody just killed it for me.
You haven't seen the
Elton John one?
Elton John
I haven't,
one.
no.
The Elton John one is kind of like this. It's not your standard.
This is
biopic.
better. So I'm just glad that it's not your standard biopic, right? Because that would just be tedious at this point for me.
In the Elton John one, the framing is that he's in rehab and he's old. And he's like recalling problem times in his life, basically. And they don't bother with the timeline of when music was released. So like they're all his songs, but he'll be like having a problem with a woman or a lover or something like that. And then it'll turn into a musical with one of his songs, but it's not necessarily telling the chronological order in which he wrote songs, type of thing. And so that makes it more interesting. And then at some point in the movie, his therapy session framing turns into like another version of him walks in, and it's like the devil version of him.
Okay.
And then like an angel version of him walks in, and then they like fight over him. Like I said, it is not your typical.
So
it's kind of like this movie where it's like super pageantry because that's who Elton John is.
Yeah.
So they tried to give it like a more grand feeling than just like, here's the facts, and with like a little style to distract you. It's like, anyway, I would say if you liked Elvis, that's probably your best shot at something that's similar.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Elton John's interesting. What else to say about Elvis? There's a lot of CG in it. Some of it's good. Probably a lot of it's undetectable, and some of it's not good.
Like what was some of the not good CG?
Like whenever they would circle the old International Hotel, I was like, wow, this looks like Blender. This looks like YouTube explainer level CG. It was not good.
They had a lot of like text on screen. They felt fairly cheap.
And they did it a lot at the beginning, and then they pretty much stopped doing it like half an hour in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the movie's an experience, and if you like a variety of movies, this is a shade that you don't get every day. And it's not going to offend you, Kyle, like maybe Moulin Rouge did. I don't know. There is modern music mixed into it. That was his problem with Moulin Rouge, right?
Yes, that was specifically his problem. Although I think by the time the music comes in, a significant amount of time has passed.
Yeah.
And it's so short. It's probably 20 seconds, right?
And it's all Elvis remixes. It's like Elvis doing the chorus and then like rappers.
Yeah.
He's totally not going to be into this, but there's like rappers doing a verse or two to him doing the chorus.
Maybe it won't bother him because it will be music he doesn't know.
You don't think he knows the basics of Elvis songs?
No, he doesn't know the modern music that's mixed in.
But that's what I mean. They didn't put legit songs in this.
Oh, those are all.
It's like a
lyrics?
remix of Hound Dog with a rapper writing their own verse to put into
That's what I'm
Hound
saying.
Dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not songs that he already knows the words to that they have like.
No, but he'd know that Hound Dog doesn't have a rap in the middle of it.
No, right. What, James, what I'm saying is there's not an anachronistic song from the future put into this movie. It's just a future style.
Right. Yeah.
But not like Smells Like Teen Spirit that they then put into the past.
Right.
Yeah.
No. It's not a Pan situation.
I still think that he won't like this movie, nor do I think he will see this movie.
You think there's nothing that'll convince him? You don't think if both of us were like 5 stars on this one,
No.
he still wouldn't see it?
If both of us were, I think he would. But you're
Let's
not
just
5
say
stars
we're
on this
5
movie.
stars, then.
You know what? On reflection, I am 5 stars on
I
this.
think I'm 5 stars too.
Definitely 5 stars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
5 stars.
I don't know what we were thinking. This is easily the best movie I've seen this year.
Best film of the 21st century?
Maybe 20th.
History of film.
Let's just throw the 20th in there too, just in case.
What I liked was that Charlize Theron showed up at the end.
The end? She was throughout it. What are you talking about?
All the 2001 references.
Right. I like that too.
That's what made it
And
strong.
there wasn't a single Chiwetel Ejiofor to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Loved it.
No, but really, what are you ranking it?
I gave it a 3.
Okay.
I don't know if it had been 2 hours of what the first 20 to 30 minutes given me, would it go up? Or is it a 3 because it wasn't only the 20? Like we'll never know.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like maybe if it had continued that pace, it's 50-50. I would have been completely annoyed or I would have loved it.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 4.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed it. Maybe because Elvis is so hokey. That's, the actual like character content
Sure.
keeps it from being, if it was this movie, same style about a different artist, maybe, like Jimi Hendrix, then maybe
You'd be annoyed by it.
No, then maybe I'd like it better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just because the person would be more interesting.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Sure. I think honestly, the Baz Luhrmann style feels right for this performer. Whereas like Jimi Hendrix needs like a stoner to make his movie, not kinetic Australian.
No, I totally agree. No, Elvis is the right person for this film, for this style. Because again, larger than life, right?
Yeah.
He had this magnetic pull on people that I think, and this phenomenal rise. So, yeah.
All right. A 3 and a 4, aka 2 5s.
2 5s.
For Elvis.
This is a must see.
For
Run,
sure.
don't walk. Leave your vacation.
Yep. Since it's a 5, I need to tweak my list a little bit here.
My numbers 3 through 1, Elvis.
All right. We're going to run down our top 7 films of top 6 films of Baz Luhrmann. I said 7 because technically he has 7 films.
Yeah, but he like co-directed
a stage play.
Yeah.
It's literally a stage play put to film, so I don't think it counts.
That he co-directed.
Right.
So no thank you.
We're doing 6.
I predict our list would be very different than each other.
Really?
I do.
I predict our number 1s will be the same, but the rest might move a lot.
Possibly.
Okay.
No idea.
Who wants to go first?
My number 6 is Strictly Ballroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They will be different. You don't like that movie?
I really like Strictly Ballroom.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
Okay, so you should say you like all these.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a boss head.
I'll say that I do as well.
Okay, nice.
There's not, of the 6 I've seen, there's none that I would not watch again.
Okay.
If somebody suggested it.
Sure.
The chances of me watching them on my own, small. But if somebody was like, oh, I've never seen Moulin Rouge, I'd be like, yeah, I absolutely am up for watching that.
Pop it in.
Yep.
Yeah, Strictly Ballroom. It's fun. It's his first of the, like, what is it? The Curtain trilogy or whatever?
It's his first movie, period.
Yes. But he does like think of these as far as like.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that. Trilogy framing. I understand that's what he uses, but I'm not sure I buy it. Do you buy it?
Yeah.
I've seen all 3 of them. Do they feel like movies that complement each other?
No, I think they all have a curtain in it.
Right.
That's good enough.
Pretty thin connection.
Man, whatever helps him sleep at night, I'm fine with. Yeah, Strictly Ballroom is fun. It feels very fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it's a movie from like 1994 or something.
Pretty
1992.
Early. Yeah. And it's very non-American, I would say.
I didn't get that.
You didn't get that vibe?
No.
I felt it was very non-American.
Because everybody had Australian accents?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I just got this non-American vibe from it. Like it wasn't like this is the same age as like Pulp Fiction, right? And it just was like a different world to me.
Yeah, but it has like a till 1992 was not Pulp Fiction. That was 96.
I have no idea.
92 was Reservoir Dogs.
Okay. Well, it wasn't that either.
Right, but like if you compare this to Mixed Nuts or Best in Show, it kind of feels like those movies to me. And those were American movies. So
okay.
I don't know.
All right, Mixed Nuts. That sounds like a Canadian film to me.
You've seen Mixed Nuts.
Have I?
It's a Christmas movie that you did not like that has young Adam Sandler in it.
It sounds
We
awful.
watched it for a Christmas episode.
It sounds awful, but I don't remember it. Did I hate it?
I don't think you loved it.
Steve Martin.
You don't remember this movie?
Oh, I do remember this film. I gave it 1.5 stars. Directed and written by Nora Ephron.
Uh-huh. I think it's Adam Sandler's like first or second movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Because he's barely in it. But he's doing the baby voice.
Like
that.
not American. Like I said, Nora Ephron is from Massachusetts.
Yeah, not American at
wherever
all.
that is.
My number 6 is from 2013. It's The Great Gatsby. Probably my least favorite Baz Luhrmann movie because it kind of like starts intriguing, and then pretty early you figure out what's going on with the title character as well as like all the characters that revolve around him. And then the back half is just this long slog of, is he going to get what he wants? And then it ends like in a depressing way. And I was just like, okay. It's another long one, like 2.5 hours. Easily could have been under 2 hours and told the same story. And I also feel like this one, more than any of the other ones, is far more offensive with the pop music mixed in. But I really loved the production design. Like, it's immaculately set in whatever time period it's in.
Yeah.
There's a shot in it where there's like 200 period cars on the screen at once. And I can't imagine they rented 200. So probably a good deal of it is CG. And I could not tell you which cars were CG and which ones weren't. And yeah, I was just super impressed with the production of it, but really bored by the story of it. So
By the great American
6.
novel.
Yeah. Is that like generally beat for beat what The Great Gatsby is about?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised that Michelle Williams is in it.
She was great.
Oh, she was?
Oh, yeah.
You don't like Michelle Williams, so she must have been really good in it.
Was it Michelle Williams?
It was Michelle Williams.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she was great. For sure.
I don't think she was that great, to be honest.
Really?
She wasn't bad. She just doesn't have much to do compared to some of the other people in the movie.
It was Carey Mulligan.
That was Carey Mulligan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
Just looked it up, Carey Mulligan. And
I could have sworn that was Michelle Williams.
It's so funny.
I obviously didn't look it up because I was so positive that was Michelle Williams.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Well, I guess now we know why I liked it. She's the better actress. Okay, so my number 5, also Gatsby. I like Gatsby quite a bit, honestly, and I it's hard to explain. This is the best 3D movie I've ever seen.
That was another thing I put in my Letterboxd review. I really wish I had seen it in 3D. It feels like one of those movies that was released in a time period that absolutely should not have been 3D, but would have been neat to see in 3D. Yeah. What made the 3D so great?
From the very first shot, it was stunning. Do you remember when The Dark Knight came out and you went to the IMAX and you saw The Dark Knight, and the first shot of The Dark Knight is just this office building, and it like okay, well, the first shot of The Dark Knight.
I thought the first shot is like up in the sky with the plane hijacking.
No, the very first shot, it is an aerial shot of a huge skyscraper, right? That they're about to they're going to do a bank heist momentarily. But the first shot of The Dark Knight is this office building. But if you see it in IMAX, it's shot with IMAX cameras, and the level of detail is just mind blowing. And it just looks like the sharpest, clearest image you had ever seen at that point, at least for me. It was like that kind of moment with The Great Gatsby. The very first shot is just that lighthouse across the lake with the green light or whatever. And it just looks hypnotic in 3D. It was wild. I've never seen 3D that good. And the whole movie was just interesting because it was very intentionally shot in 3D.
Well, yeah, and like all the estates were like, so they all had these immaculate, massive lawns, and then like there was a lot of depth on screen.
Yeah. The film was
it's too
good.
Long. It's too long.
There was a certain level of like CG-ness to some of the scenes. Like the camera moved in ways that cameras can't move. And that felt a little artificial to me at times, but I thought all the performances were great. I really do like the story of The Great Gatsby. I think it's a great story.
Sure.
And but it's my number 5.
Okay. My number 5 is from 2001, Moulin Rouge! Exclamation point. Been a while since I've seen this one, so I don't remember a bunch of details about it, but I do remember it being fun. And I remember the integration of pop music into what is it? Essentially a stage play presented as a film. Like it's not literally a stage play, but it's kind of being presented.
It's like a play within a
in
play.
a style. Yeah, that's like that. And then having people in like wild, crazy, somewhat period specific costumes singing Madonna songs. I mean, I was entertained. My number 5.
My number 5 is Australia.
Okay.
I liked Australia quite a bit. I feel like it's maybe his most different film, most conventional film.
Mm-hmm.
It's with Hugh Jackman, and is it Nicole Kidman?
It is Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
I watched it literally yesterday, and I had to think about
Played
that.
by Michelle Williams. And yeah, I enjoy a good horse movie.
That's not a horse movie.
No, but there's a lot of horses in it.
Sure, but you don't call westerns horse movies.
Don't you?
Not unless the horse is the name of the movie or like a big part of the movie.
No, it's like a cattle drive movie. I liked it.
Sure. All right. My number 4 is Elvis, which we just talked about.
Okay. My number 3 is Elvis, which we just talked about.
Nice. My number 3 is from 1992, Strictly Ballroom. I don't understand how you don't like this.
I do like this movie.
I mean, like it more is what I'm saying.
I like it a lot.
I know. I want you to like it more.
More than a lot?
More than Great Gatsby. That's for sure. Yuck.
Yuck.
Anyway, Strictly Ballroom absolutely reminded me of like Dirty Dancing. You know what I mean? Like all these dancing movies, but with a little bit of Best in Show, like Christopher Guest mixed into it. And I liked it. I don't know anything about ballroom dancing. Literally 0. Well, maybe like 0.1, something like that. But like almost 0.
Could you tell the difference between good ballroom dancing and bad ballroom dancing?
Not unless somebody told me it. I mean, in this movie, they keep saying that good ballroom dancing is when you stick to the steps. But like, it's far more interesting when they're not sticking to the steps. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of the point of the movie. It's like when you don't stick to the steps, then stuff happens.
Spoiler alert.
You get eliminated.
Wow.
I don't know. It's like a little bit of a love story. It feels kind of like a John Hughesy type thing. Not in that it's like sardonic teens. It's just, I don't know. It feels like there's some Fame mixed in. There's like some Ugly Duckling type stuff.
You haven't
like
seen Fame?
The girl, I've seen Fame. What are you talking about?
You have?
Not the remake, but the original.
Oh, okay. You don't have it marked on Letterboxd.
That's because I feel like I have not seen it all the way through as an adult.
Okay.
My sisters used to watch Fame on a loop, and so I have vague memories of certain things that happen in Fame, but like not enough to mark it watch.
Okay.
So I'll say on this podcast I've seen it, but not on Letterboxd. That's far too official. Yeah, I found Strictly Ballroom charming, and it was fun to watch that in the context of like, I watched Great Gatsby and then I watched Strictly Ballroom. I like those are the same filmmaker, and you can see, you know, his earliness in his later movie, and you can see his later movie in his early movie, but they are very different movies for sure. I liked it. My number 3.
Cool. My number 2 is Moulin Rouge! Exclamation point. This is a movie that I really do love. I will say though, I've seen the first half maybe about 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the second half maybe about 12 times.
12 times?
Yeah.
I thought, wait, so you start the movie halfway through?
Yeah, I've done that many times.
Why?
Because I love the second half.
That's so weird.
No. It's not as weird as you think because...
It is weird.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
This was in the era,
Uh-huh.
a very particular time of DVDs.
Right.
When it was very common to like, you just go to your favorite scenes of movies, right? Like an action movie, and you just like go to the action scenes, right? This is like right like 2001 where like that was just the thing to do. I was in college and we would just watch our favorite scenes from movies over and over again. And so Moulin Rouge, we would usually just skip to the second half where we knew there was a lot of things we wanted to watch.
One, you and your buddies were
Yeah.
sitting around the dorm room watching Moulin Rouge and fast forwarding into your favorite part.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not being judgy here.
No,
but come on,
James, that's what college is all about. What are you talking about?
Sitting around with your bros, fast forwarding to your favorite part of Moulin Rouge.
Not in the dorms, at the Brown House.
Okay, I don't even want to go into why it's called the Brown House. Right?
The name.
Let's not go into it.
I know, that's all I know.
Secondly,
do you remember that
it's
era?
not common for people to fast forward their favorite DVDs
No.
to a certain scene. I think
super common.
some people did that. Sounds like some people did it a lot, but I don't think the majority of people had a phase where they were fast forwarding to a very specific scene over 12 times.
It was a cultural moment in our the Matrix came out on DVD and you could go straight to the hallway scene, or you could go straight to the rooftop scene or whatever.
I was very much alive and bought the first version of Matrix that came out. Never once did I fast forward to my favorite scene. I put it in and I watched it from beginning to end.
Well, James, I think you're the outlier.
I don't
they
think
have
I am.
chapter select for a reason, James.
I understand that. If for
Chapter
some reason you have to
menus.
stop, you can come back.
No, yeah, it saves your pause spot.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying you did it 12 times to the same movie, roughly. To the same movie.
Oh, absolutely. I don't necessarily think it's common for Moulin Rouge, but I think it was very common to do that for like movies that you wanted to go back to specific scenes and just watch those scenes.
No. I understand that maybe somebody may have revisited a movie and started it at one of their favorite scenes.
Maybe somebody may have.
I'm saying that probably happened here and there.
Yeah.
But starting it over at that scene over and over and over again and then watching through to the end.
Yeah.
That's not how you watch movies, man.
Well, the second half of the movie is strong. It's strong.
Yeah.
Or
I don't remember it enough.
Or if you like, you want to show someone like, oh, check out the scene.
So what's the scene then? What is this holy scene that allowed you to skip the first half of Baz Luhrmann's magnum opus?
It's no one moment, James. It's a vibe.
So you weren't fast forwarding to a specific scene.
You chapped your head a couple times.
Oh my gosh.
The beginning's a little tedious if you've seen it too many times.
Oh my god.
The beginning's a little tedious, but it gets good. It gets real good.
Ridiculous.
Roxanne's the best scene.
I don't remember that scene.
Well, next time, just skip ahead.
All right.
Go to Roxanne.
Are they singing Roxanne?
If I had the DVD here, I would just go to the Roxanne scene and show you just that one scene. You wouldn't have to watch the whole movie just to see the Roxanne scene.
If you were showing it to me because you loved that one scene, that's acceptable. Although you would just go to YouTube these days. But I understand what you're talking about.
That's essentially what YouTube is, right? It's the same mentality. You just go watch your favorite scene again.
I don't really do that on YouTube, though.
But a lot of people do.
I'll give you that a lot of people do. But a lot of people don't.
That's true.
If you take the views on those types of videos and then subtract the population of the world,
yeah,
a lot of people don't.
That's true, James. That's true.
All right. My number 2, you put this pretty low, Australia.
Like I said, I think our lists are going to be very different from each
Australia is awesome.
Yeah.
I loved Australia. It's also the least Baz Luhrmann-y, I would say.
It's true.
It's probably the most straightforward of any of them. And it's pretty flashy for Western Outback set movie. But I like Western Outback set movies, and I liked his take on it. Felt a little long here and there, but it was fast moving enough that it never fully lost me ever. And I was writing a review on Letterboxd, and I just noticed that a lot of people don't like this movie, and I don't understand the hate. I liked it. My number 2.
Nice. My number 1, it sounds like it's also your number 1, is William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet.
Is William Shakespeare's part of the title?
Yeah.
Really? That is my number 1 because it's the last one I haven't said.
That's how I figured it out.
Yeah. Which I believe I predicted.
You did?
that
James,
we might be different, but our number ones are going to be
James,
the same.
I want to formally admit that you were right at the start of this podcast.
I don't think you said I was wrong when I predicted that.
I'm not saying I was wrong. I'm saying you were right.
Oh, okay. Good. What do you particularly like about Romeo plus Juliet?
I think it's so cool that they took this old play and they kept the dialogue exactly the same and they just updated the context. Like, so when they're having a fighting and they say
the time period, everything.
Yeah, it's like Miami Beach or something. They're like, when they pull their swords, they pull out guns that say sword on the side of it. It's cool. It's just super cool. I love the music. I love the frenetic pace of it. I love how like it's just the whole thing is just off kilter and artsy and just awesome.
It's not like our reality today. It's like a more colorful, more quirky world.
Fever dream. Yeah.
But it resembles our world.
Oh yeah, and it's very clever in how much it how it handles certain like the Shakespeare things, and it really makes you understand what's going on without changing the language.
Yeah, for sure. I also like that it's kind of a time capsule for a bunch of people we're still watching on screen today, like Leonardo DiCaprio and other people.
Is Luis Guzman in it?
I believe so. Isn't Jamie Kennedy in it?
I don't know if Jamie Kennedy's in it. Isn't
I feel like Jamie Kennedy's in this movie. You know, I watch Jamie Kennedy like once a week. So I'm just glad he's in this movie as a time capsule.
What do you watch Jamie Kennedy in?
Joking. I haven't seen anything Jamie Kennedy in probably a decade.
Like The Son of the Mask, you mean?
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know who you're thinking of.
I don't watch Son of Mask from the first scene. I fast forward to midway and then just watch it through to the
Respect.
end. Yeah. Jamie Kennedy as Samson, Romeo's cousin.
Okay.
He is absolutely in the movie. Brian Dennehy. Great time capsule for him.
Paul Rudd's in this.
Yeah. Claire Danes. Johnny Legs. Harold Perrineau.
He's awesome as Mercutio.
Yeah.
He's great.
We need more Harold Perrineau.
We don't get a lot of Harold Perrineau.
Not since Lost. He was good in Lost, and then
never saw it.
Feel it. Never watched Lost? Are you serious?
No. Do you want to hear my Lost story?
Yes.
It was a couple years in.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's talking about this TV show with polar bears or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch an episode of Lost.
Right.
Okay. So I sit down, turn it on. I'm watching it. They're on the island.
Wait, you didn't watch episode 1?
It was on TV.
Right. But
how am I gonna go back and watch episode 1? Like go to the
it's like
library.
Watching Breaking Bad halfway through. It's not the same.
All I can do at this point is it's on TV. I'm gonna give it a chance. They're on the island. There's some Jeeps. They're racing along the island. Then they're on a bridge. They race off the island. They're running around in like a prison or something like that.
How many seasons was this in?
Like 2 or 3 years in.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Finally, after about 20 minutes, I realized I'm watching Prison Break and not Lost. And so
I was wondering, because it's been a while since I've seen Lost, but I don't remember anything you just said.
But it absolutely was shot how my picture of Lost was. Like,
yeah, because like Prison Break season 3, they're not on an island, but they're like in a jungle.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I watched all of Prison Break.
It didn't appeal to me. I didn't see why people enjoyed Lost from my brief exposure to Prison Break. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could see why you didn't get Lost vibes from Prison Break.
So I didn't. No, I definitely got Lost vibes. It felt like Lost. It felt like I thought Lost would be like.
Sure.
So I never revisited.
This is what I would say about Lost.
I'm not big into polar bears.
What?
I'm just not big into polar bears.
That's fine. There's barely any polar bears in Lost.
Okay, so
don't let polar bears stop you. This is what I'll say about Lost. The first episode, the pilot episode of Lost, at the time was the most expensive pilot episode anybody had ever made.
Okay.
I think Game of Thrones eventually eclipsed it.
Okay.
But in 2005, they spent a ton of money on the pilot episode. Watch the pilot episode. It's like an hour and a half because all the commercials have been cut out of it. And if you don't want to watch episode 2, I respect that you stop. But I'm willing to bet you'll want to watch episode 2 after that pilot episode. Because they put a ton of money making sure that you will be impressed by this.
So it's all diminishing returns after that? So they spent a lot of... Watch the thing that they spent the money on, and then watch the episodes that they didn't spend the money on?
The pilot episode has a very high budget.
Plane crash.
Just generally a high budget. Like the filmmaking itself and probably the amount of time they actually put into the script of the first episode. They put a lot of effort into that and raised a bunch of questions that you'll probably want answers to in episode 2. And that's why that show works.
Questions do they answer?
Eventually?
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them?
In the first episode, I think they answer all the questions that happen in the first episode. Over the course of 7 seasons, other questions come up that I don't think they answered. But I'm pretty sure the ones they brought up in episode 1, they answered.
Here's how you can demonstrate your lost cred or not. Do you remember whatever
that meant? Like I lost my credibility.
No. Do you remember whatever that random number is that people would chant to themselves after they watched Lost?
Yeah.
What is it?
That number was?
Let's hear it.
It's like coordinates.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the number.
This is spoiler for people that don't.
No, you can say the number. There's no spoiling Lost. You either watched Lost or you didn't.
I'm telling you.
Hold on, but you can say the number if you know it. Do you remember
the number? They spend seasons on what this number is.
You don't have to say what the number means, but
I'm telling you it's coordinates.
Yeah, but what is the actual number?
I don't have the number memorized.
Okay. People at the time memorized that number.
Sure.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm not insane. I liked a TV show. I didn't memorize or get them tattooed.
People
on
were
me.
way too into that show.
For sure. I liked Lost, but I didn't understand tattooing myself about it or things like that. All right. Thanks, Harold Perrineau. Getting us into that discussion.
He's in it. He's in Lost.
He's in it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it for our top 6 films of Baz Luhrmann. He's an interesting guy and fairly young. I think he's like in his 50s, so we might get like another 5 movies out of him.
I'm gonna see what he has upcoming.
Okay.
And get your hot takes on if you are interested or not.
I bet he doesn't have anything.
You bet he doesn't have anything.
Because I think Elvis was like a big undertaking.
Yeah. No. Yeah. His last movie was in 2013.
Right.
It's 9 years.
I mean, I don't think it's going to do as well as probably the commiserate amount of effort put into the movie. But that's not a movie you make on a whim, for sure. Which is kind of how I feel about all of his movies, for the most part.
Are you going to see the 4-hour cut?
There's a 4-hour Elvis cut?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
He cut out like the part where he meets Nixon and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't feel a big need to witness that. But if somebody else watched the 4-hour cut and said it makes the movie 100 times better, okay. Maybe I'll fast forward the Blu-ray to those scenes.
Nice.
Zach, before we go, we're going to play a game.
Okay. You spring this on me now?
I am. I'm springing it on you. It's like you didn't even know we were going to do this, even though you did. We're going to play a movie game that we haven't played in 300 episodes.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. 200
episodes, something like that. A game we didn't even know we played before, but figured out right before we recorded that we had played it. It's a game called 5 Easy Pieces, which is the name of a movie starring
Jack Nicholson.
Have
you seen it?
I have. It's boring.
Oh, it's good.
All I really remember about it is ping pong.
What about the chicken scene?
What happens with the chicken?
He orders a chicken sandwich.
Oh, right. And then I remember that more because of the parody in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, I don't remember the parody.
Yeah.
Okay.
They parody it in Dumb and Dumber. I watched a lot of Dumb and Dumber. And
Hold
then,
on.
Then I saw 5 Easy Pieces and I was like, oh, that's what this scene's
The
from.
people listening at home, if you were one of those people that would on your DVDs go straight to scenes that are your favorite scenes and just watch the scenes and not just rewatch the whole movie again, write in and let us know.
I'm saying you have to be a person who did that on the regular.
Sure.
Like that's how you watch DVDs a decent amount of time. I'm not saying every single time. I'm just saying like when you thought of DVDs, one of the features you loved is that you could fast forward to your favorite scene and then watch the movie from there and cut out all the stuff you didn't like, as opposed to sitting down and watching them from beginning to end.
No. Not like watching the movie from there. That wasn't normal.
That's what you said. You said you watched the back half of the movie 12 times.
No, I would do that. Yeah, with Moulin Rouge.
Right.
What I was saying, the normal thing is to go to specific scenes and watch those. And so often what would happen, we'd go to specific scenes in Moulin Rouge and then just keep watching just because it was on.
Right. But you gave me the impression that what you were doing is instead of starting it from the beginning, you wanted to watch Moulin Rouge, not just one scene. You wanted to watch Moulin Rouge. So instead of watching it from the beginning, you just skipped the first half. Started at the same spot and then just watched from there.
No, it wasn't that. It was more like, oh, let's watch that scene again. Go to the scene and then like, oh, this is good.
And then
like, oh, this next scene is good. Ooh, it just kept the hits keep coming.
Okay.
So when are you gonna turn it? At what point are you gonna turn it off?
That's a very different thing than what we were talking about earlier.
I don't know, James.
I will admit that probably a good deal of people a couple of times have fast forward to a scene that's their favorite scene.
Couple of times. Oh my goodness.
But I think most people are like me. And they knew that was an option. Occasionally they dabbled there. But for the most part, when they watch DVDs, James, they hit play from the beginning.
I just cannot believe you bought the Matrix DVD first pressing and you never once went to all the action scenes and just watched the action scenes.
I will tell you.
That's shocking to me.
To the best of my memory.
Shocking.
To the best of my memory, I have never fast forwarded a Matrix movie, period. To the best of my memory.
Well, that's not saying anything stronger than what I said.
I'm just saying, like, I probably watched The Matrix 1 10 times in my life. Never once have I started it at just a scene. I always started it.
I have probably watched just the action scenes from Matrix 1 40 times.
That's insanity. Insanity.
James, because they're cool.
They are cool, but they're even cooler with context.
They're cool on their own too. You have the context from previous viewings.
I agreed. They are cool, but they're cooler with context.
Yeah, but you have the context from previous viewings.
No. It's not the same.
How would you know?
It's like watching.
How would you know, James?
It's like watching.
You've never done it.
I'm just saying. It's like watching Sports Center and being like, yeah, I got the feeling of watching the football game. No, you saw the highlights. It's not the same as watching a football game from beginning to end.
James, not the same, but you.
Same.
No, not the same.
The same.
No. What I'm agreeing with you. It's not the same as watching the full game.
I'm saying it's not the same.
That's what I just said. It's not the same. Okay, but you do understand that people who have watched a game then also sometimes watch the highlights.
Right, but it's not the same as watching the game.
I'm not saying it's the same. Who's saying it's
watching
the same?
The game is better.
Watching The Matrix
from beginning to end is better.
If you've never watched anything,
right,
I would recommend watching the entire movie. If you've watched if you watched The Matrix 20 times and now you just want to see the coolest action scene, go just watch that scene. You don't have to watch it 21 times.
I'm not saying you can't go watch that scene. I'm saying don't get to the point where you stop watching The Matrix from beginning to end and you only watch those scenes.
Who's doing that?
That's how you said you watch Moulin Rouge.
No.
On a regular basis. You said you stopped watching the first half.
No, I just said I've watched the first half less times than the second half. I've probably seen the whole movie.
You said 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times. I probably seen the last time I probably saw anything Moulin Rouge was probably the full film.
And when was that? College?
No, probably 15 years ago.
All right,
let's get familiar with it.
Let's get into this.
5 easy pieces with a twist.
Can you explain to people how to play this?
Absolutely. Okay.
I don't even remember.
We have a bunch of films the other person has to guess, and we have 5 progressively easier clues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first clue is the most difficult to guess the movie from.
Okay.
I wouldn't say particularly difficult, but the most difficult. And if they can't get that right, we give them another clue, and then another clue, and then another clue, and then another clue.
Okay.
And the earlier you can guess, the least number of clues, the better, because you get a lower score. And this is golf rules, so the lowest score at the end of the game wins.
You want a low score.
You want a low score. Now, if you guess the movie successfully, you get a bonus question. The bonus question is going to function differently. That is, I'm going to tell you 3 films, and you have to guess the odd man out. Okay? So this is what movie does not share a common actor or director. So 2 of the 3 films will have this an actor or director in common, and the third one has no connection.
Right. Why don't we play bonus question exactly as you described? But if you get it right, you get a 0 for that card.
We could do that. How about you only get the bonus question if you guess within 1, 2, or 3 clues?
No, come on.
No, because then you could consistently take all the way to 5 and then get the easy bonus question, and then it's a 0.
Oh, I've seen some of these. You're not going to get them in 5. And I probably can say the same for me.
Really?
Yeah, because this is not a modern game.
Okay.
So there's like 2000s questions, but they're like early 2000s, and there's like some 50s and some stuff that I did not recognize.
Interesting. Okay, then how about the first 4, not the 5th one?
I love the idea of getting it on the 5th, and then getting other questions. The bonus question, not a chance you're getting this one. Not a chance you're getting this one. I mean, the bonus questions are freaking hard. Here, I'm going to shuffle so that you don't end up with those 2 first. But I say, I mean, it's like a Hail Mary.
But it's a Hail Mary with a 1/3 shot.
Yeah. Come on. Live dangerously, Zach.
You're gonna
Live
bank
dangerously.
a 0 on a 1/3 shot.
Live dangerously.
You got to meet me halfway. I want 3. You want 5. 4 is halfway.
5 is the Hail Mary. Your back's up against the wall. You happen to get it on the 5th clue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you're asked like this impossible 3-movie question where you have to figure out what the difference is.
I'm looking at the same questions you are, and I do not see what you're saying at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you get it in 1 or 2, who cares if you get the bonus? It's going to knock you down to 0, but you only got a 1 or a 2 anyway. It only really counts when you get to the 5. You know what I mean? That's like if you can pull it out and knock it back down to a 0. It's amazing.
Ridiculous. No, it's guessing
the
at
hole
that
in
point.
one. It's the grand slam.
James, you're ridiculous. I will not go completely your way. You got to meet me halfway. It's got to be number 4.
Oh, God.
It's got to be 4.
I will meet you halfway, but anybody who disagrees with me, I need them to email in or tweet or whatever you need to do. But Zach should have gone with 5. I'll go with 4.
All right, James.
Ready?
Yes.
Here's your first clue.
Okay.
I present Vern Troyer as an alien. This is a movie with Vern Troyer in it playing an alien.
I do not know who Vern Troyer is.
You don't know who Vern Troyer is?
I don't.
Come on.
I have no idea.
I'm not giving you a hint.
So I'm going to say alien.
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you know who Vern Troyer is?
God. Yes, I know who Vern Troyer
All
is.
Right. Does that mean he's a Star Wars guy?
No, not a Star Wars guy. Clue number 2. My co-star also performs my theme song.
My co-star performs my theme song?
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely don't know that one. So is this James Bond?
No.
Okay.
Clue number 3. My tagline is protecting the earth from the scum of the universe. Oh, should I have given you the genre?
No, well,
didn't we say we were going to give each other the genre?
Do we know the genre? Oh yeah, it says at the top.
How about for my first card, don't give me the genre,
okay.
Just to make it even.
Okay. I'm going to guess Men in Black.
Your guess is Men in Black?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Vernon
That's what it
Troyer or whatever, is he the Weasley guy?
No. Vern Troyer is Mini-Me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't know the name Vern Troyer.
No idea.
That's insane.
All right,
Okay.
James. Bonus question.
Bonus question. I'm going to name 3 movies. One of these doesn't belong based on an actor or a director, right?
Okay.
Wasn't that
they don't share one of those in common.
They don't share one of those in common. The 3 movies are Pearl Harbor, Bridget Jones's Diary, and Me, Myself, and Irene.
Pearl Harbor?
Your guess, Pearl Harbor is the one, the odd
man out.
The odd man out?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Because
That's
it doesn't
correct.
have, what's her name in it?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's her name? Should people
Judy
have
Garland.
to know?
Doesn't have Judy Garland.
Should people have to know?
What the common thread is?
Yeah.
If you wanted to, then it really could be a Hail Mary. then it could be number 5 if you want.
Because you're never
that would
gonna-
make it a lot more difficult for sure.
I mean, I gave you 3 movies. At least one of them should tell you exactly who this person is.
Well, yeah, not necessarily. I think they could be a lot harder.
I'm talking about the card in front of me. You still haven't said the person's name.
Oh yeah, I can come up with her name if you want. I don't think I
Are we
need
going to require it?
She played Judy
Right.
in Judy Garland. She was.
Are we playing strict?
Bridget Jones's Diary?
Uh-huh.
How about this?
Okay.
How about this? This is our compromise, okay? You get the bonus question at 4. At 5, you can have your bonus question, but you'll have to. This is a true Hail Mary. You'll have to be able to say who the connection is.
Okay. So since you got it in under 4, you don't have to have it.
That's my thinking.
But that seems weird.
Why?
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
You want it to be a Hail Mary? No. If it has to be a true Hail Mary, meaning it's got to be super difficult, low odds of getting it,
Sure.
but you were able to pull it off, right?
Okay.
If it's just a random 1/3 guess at the end.
Why don't we not do the bonus then for anything 1 to 3?
Not do the bonus?
For anything 1 to 3.
No. Because then why wouldn't you want to get it in 4 and then get the bonus and get it down to 0?
Because you're not guaranteed to get it down to 0 at 4.
Yeah, but I think these are fairly easy. The bonus are pretty easy things. You think they're difficult.
All right, fine. What are the rules we landed on then? I don't care anymore. It's going to be a half an hour of us arguing over the rules. What do we land on?
Okay.
4?
Let's
You get the question, but you don't have to answer the person.
right. And the 5th one, the bonus, you have to say the actual thing to get the bonus.
Gotcha. Okay, give me my first clue without the category, but we'll start giving the categories.
Okay. Was the category like sci-fi or
It was
comedy?
sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feature a spinning wheel.
Did you write down how many points?
Yeah, I did.
you get? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep track of you.
I'm at 0.
I'll keep track of you.
Okay. I'll keep track of both. But yeah, okay. You can keep track of me, whatever. I feature a spinning wheel as a weapon.
A spinning wheel as a weapon.
These are s-
A spinning wheel. I feel like I should know this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No. I am the story of a princess named Aurora.
Aurora.
Mm-hmm. Like the Borealis.
Sure. And there's a spinning wheel. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
No. My supporting cast includes 3 fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather.
There's a spinning wheel as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Princess named Aurora.
Aurora.
Princess Aurora. Could you name the fairy godmothers again?
Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. I know you've seen this film.
Yeah, I feel like
Talked about it on the show.
We did?
Mhm.
It's been released since we were doing this podcast?
You're at number 3 right now.
What does that mean? That you're not going to tell me whether it was released? Let's see. I will say, I don't know. Cinderella.
No. Released in 1959, I am a Disney animated feature based on a 17th century French fairy tale. These clues just so progressively easy. Released in 1959, I am a Disney animated feature based on a 17th century French fairy tale. That really limits it.
With 3 fairy godmothers in it. And it
Fairies,
was not
just fairies.
just fairies.
Fairies.
Peter Pan?
No. My title character can only be awakened by the kiss of true love.
Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah. Sleeping
There's
Beauty.
fairies in Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah. They
Wow.
take her and protect her away from the castle.
You say so. I rewatched that like fairly recently, like
Okay.
last 5 years.
I would
We
say
had somebody on that was a Cinderella expert. Do you remember?
Yeah,
that?
Megan.
It was Megan.
I would say
yeah.
80% of the movie is her living with these 3 fairies.
Really?
Yeah. They like
Don't remember that.
the baby gets cursed, so they go live with the fairies until she's old enough. Immediately she's old enough, pricks her finger and goes into a coma and then gets kissed.
Hmm.
All right, James, Hail Mary time.
Okay.
All right. Here's 3 movies. You say what's the odd man out and why.
Okay. Wait. I didn't get it.
What? Oh, you got Sleeping Beauty.
On the 5th one,
Yeah.
I got it?
Yeah.
I thought I missed the 5th one and then I said one more.
No, I think
Okay.
you got it. Yeah,
All right.
you got it.
I'll take your word for it.
Boys Town, San Francisco, The Snows of Kilimanjaro.
These are movie titles?
These are movie titles.
I've never heard of any of them.
Boys Town, San Francisco, The Snows of Kilimanjaro.
I'll take that back. I've heard of a movie called Boys Town. I couldn't tell you what it's about.
Okay, all right.
But that does sound familiar. The other 2 do not sound familiar at all.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Robert Redford.
And which movie is the odd man out?
Oh, right. I have to come up with that. Well, Boys Town's a movie.
Yep.
Actually, all 3 of them are probably
They're
movies.
probably
I'm going to
movies.
say there's not a movie called San Francisco.
Okay, so you've interpreted this game as one is a fake
I mean,
movie.
like, that's the odd man out.
Okay,
not that
no.
it's-
Snows of Kilimanjaro is the odd man out, and it's because it doesn't have Spencer Tracy.
Okay.
That was a rough card for you, James.
Absolutely.
That was
All
not
right.
your card.
You keep getting easy ones. This one's a comedy.
James, you got Sleeping Beauty, and question number
Sleeping Beauty,
2,
but those questions
the
were
story
crazy.
of a princess named Aurora. Maybe you don't have a daughter who's 3.
Yeah, I mean, when have
But
I
you
thought
watched
about
this
the
recently.
name of
The
Sleeping
supporting
Beauty?
cast includes Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather.
Do they say her name like repeatedly in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't.
Number 4, I'm a Disney animated feature about. Okay. Anyway.
I mean, all I could think of was Cinderella because of the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay. This is a comedy. In her big screen debut, Linda Kozlowski got my leading man both on and off screen.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Are you going to guess?
It's a comedy.
Yes.
Bridesmaids.
No. This game was made before Bridesmaids. Guaranteed. Number 2. I made famous this line. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Well, Paul Hogan said that in Crocodile Dundee.
Yes. Told you. You get easy ones.
That was a good one.
All right. Here we
A
go.
more obscure movie than Sleeping Beauty.
This is your bonus to knock it down to 0. The movies are Cry Freedom, It's My Turn, and Dave. Which one is the odd man out based on an actor or a
Cry
director?
Freedom.
You think Cry Freedom?
I do.
Incorrect.
What was it?
It was It's My Turn because, as everybody knows, It's My Turn doesn't star Kevin Kline.
I like Dave.
I like Dave
Dave
too.
was
That's
good.
the only one I've seen.
If I don't think you can get one, should I just move to the next one?
I don't know.
It's up to you.
That's up to you.
No, it's whatever you want, James. I'm letting you choose.
No.
All right.
That's up to you.
You have chosen. This is a comedy,
Of course it is.
not a laugh out loud comedy.
Okay.
I would describe it as a drama, but I tell the stories of an ophthalmologist and a filmmaker.
Stories?
Yeah.
Like multiple stories?
Well, I tell the stories of an ophthalmologist and of a filmmaker.
Ophthalmologist and a filmmaker. Have I seen this?
I don't know. I've seen this. That helps.
Doesn't help. Pinocchio.
No. When Alan Alda tells Mia Farrow that he's putty in her hands, she asks, "What am I going to do with a handful of putty?"
What are the two names?
Alan Alda and Mia Farrow.
MASH?
No. Woody Allen directed me in 1989.
1989?
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan.
No. I show Martin Landau trying to get out of a relationship and Woody trying to get into one.
I have no clue
Yeah.
what this movie is.
Yeah. Last one. My title. Okay, so this is a clue about the title.
Uh-huh.
Refers to the legal definition of large and small wrongdoings.
Minor incident?
Think it through a little bit longer than that.
Misdemeanor?
My title refers to the legal definition of large and small wrongdoings.
First and third degree?
It's crimes and misdemeanors. Crimes and misdemeanors.
All right.
Have you seen that?
No. But I have heard of it.
How do you score something that you don't get?
I get 5. I get the full score.
You get the full score.
Mm-hmm. It's like golf.
What's it interesting getting it on the fifth one and not getting it on the fifth one?
The bonus, whether you get it or not.
Okay, the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
You don't get the bonus.
I don't get the bonus. Zach, I got another card here for you. The category is Academy Awards.
Okay.
Number 1. So easy. I would have gotten all of the ones I'm asking you.
All 2 of them?
I show Cuba Gooding Jr. and Noah Wiley early in their careers.
Is this Show Me the Money?
Is that a movie title?
No. The movie title is the man's name. Let me think this through. It's his first and last name, starring Tom Cruise,
Mm-hmm.
where he says, "Show me the money," and I own it on
4K, probably.
4K Blu-ray. Yeah, I own it on 4K.
Everybody
Blu-ray.
needs a 4K version of
what?
This movie.
Of what movie, James? Wow. So I know the movie. Can I think of the title? Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Number 2, I was best movie.
I guessed it.
You
though.
did. You guessed it. You guessed it in 1. Now you get a bonus question. That you don't need.
No, I could wipe my 1 into a 0.
Wipe your 1 into a 0. Okay, these 3 movies, Pulp Fiction, Con Air, and Training Day, don't share an actor or a director. One of them don't share an actor or a director.
Con Air and Training Day?
Pulp Fiction, Con Air, Training Day.
Training Day?
That's correct.
And the actor?
Is it the guy I interviewed at one time? Is it
the guy you interviewed?
Steve Buscemi?
It's not Steve Buscemi.
Oh, who is it?
Ving Rhames.
Okay, Ving Rhames.
Yep, Ving Rhames.
All right, James. Academy Awards.
Great.
I show the Battle of Stirling Bridge fought on an open plain.
Why are you giving me all these hard ones?
This is not a hard one. This is a very easy one.
Read it to me again.
I show the Battle of Stirling Bridge fought on an open plain.
Glory.
No. My producer was investigated by the SPCA, which feared that my fake horses were real. I would have gotten this on
I don't
clue
know.
1. Clue 1. You'll get on the next one.
Dances with Wolves.
Nope. In 1996, I was nominated for 10 and won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
1996?
Yeah.
There's horses in the movie?
There's horses in the film, real horses, and they won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture.
Unforgiven?
No. Mel Gibson directed, produced, and starred in me.
Braveheart?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Okay. Bonus question, James.
What did I get on that? A 4?
4. So you do not need to know the connection between this.
Okay.
To wipe it down to 0. The Great Santini, Murder by Death, Caddyshack.
The Great Santini, Murder by Death, Caddyshack. The Great Cantini.
The Great Santini?
Santini.
No, it's Murder by Death.
Ugh.
Did not star Michael O'Keefe.
Michael O'Keefe. That was not the name in my brain, for sure. All right, here we go. This is a drama.
All right.
I am based on a novel by Jim Lovell and Jeffrey Kluger.
Apollo 13?
Yeah.
That's correct.
These are so easy.
Wait, you would have
Oh my
gotten that?
God. Yes, Jim Lovell. Come on.
The Battle
You don't
of
have to start
Stirling-
halfway through Apollo 13 to know that name.
The Battle of Stirling Bridge?
What was the name of that movie? I've forgotten it already. Braveheart.
Perhaps you've seen it.
Yeah, because they say the Battle of Stirling Bridge over and over and over again in that movie.
Do they say Apollo 13 in the film?
No, but it's please. All right. Bonus to wipe out your 1 point. Showboat, The Night of the Iguana, or Bundle of Joy. I wish this would give us years too.
Bundle of Joy.
That's correct. I don't know how you just guessed that out of nowhere.
1/3 shot.
Ava Gardner was
Okay.
the link to 2 of those movies.
That's very old.
Not named Bundle of Joy.
All right, James. Comedy. Is this your category? Are you good at comedies?
So far, no.
So far, no. I introduce you to Mitch Robbins, a 40-year-old radio ad salesman.
I introduce you to Mitch. Is this a movie I've seen?
Probably.
I introduce
It's a movie
you.
that Kyle likes better than both of us.
I introduce you to.
You never talk about this film.
Read it to
ever.
me again.
I introduce you to Mitch Robbins, a 40-year-old radio ad salesman.
Frequency?
No. As my supermarket manager, Phil Berquist, Daniel Stern shouts, "If hate were people, I'd be China."
This is a drama?
Comedy.
Comedy. Hate were people. I'd be a comedy.
I'd be China.
I'd be China. I'd be China.
Your brain's getting fuzzy.
Hate were a people.
If hate were people, I'd be China. That was Daniel
Meaning
Stern.
there'd be a lot of people? A lot of hate?
A lot of hate.
In a movie starring Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern, Mitch Robbins, Phil Berquist, Titans of Industry. I think this is a hard one personally, but
Yeah. I Dog Day Afternoon.
my lead helps give birth to a calf.
Color Purple.
No, it's a comedy. Remember?
Yeah, that hilarious movie, Color Purple.
Jack Palance gave an Oscar-winning performance as Curly.
Oh, yeah. City Slickers.
That's right.
That's correct.
That's right. All right, James.
Wow.
You have a 1 in 3 chance.
Was that a 5 again?
That was a 4.
Okay.
So you have a 1 in 3 chance of making that a 0.
Okay.
Okay. Casablanca, It Happened One Night, Gone with the Wind.
These are very well-known old movies, so
They
I
are.
think some people would actually know these, but I am not that people.
Okay.
So can you give me the three again?
Casablanca.
Uh-huh.
It Happened One Night.
Okay.
Gone with the Wind.
It Happened One Night.
No, Casablanca.
Ugh.
The other two have Clark Gable.
I figured it was like somebody top line.
No.
Wait, Clark Gable was in Gone with the Wind?
Yes.
But not in Casablanca.
Correct.
I'm confusing Clark Gable with who? Humphrey Bogart?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bogey was in Casablanca.
All right. This is an Academy Award category.
Okay.
Clue 1. I present Allison Janney as a broken housewife. What movie does Allison Janney play a broken housewife in?
I just think of her from West Wing and I, Tonya.
I can tell you, you've seen this movie.
Okay. I can't think of like an old Allison Janney.
You probably fast forwarded it to the middle and then watch it from there.
Aaron Brockovich?
No.
Okay.
Number 2. My lead catches his wife in an affair while he is working at a fast food drive-through window.
Yeah. Yeah. American Beauty?
That's correct.
You're like way too good at this. All right.
It's probably why we stopped playing. You're like, I don't like this game.
Bonus to
300
take out
episodes ago.
all your points. Bird on a Wire, Outrageous Fortune, or Foul Play. I could have gotten this one too.
Really?
Yeah. Out of those three movies, which one doesn't fit?
I haven't seen any of these films. Can you read them again?
Bird on a Wire,
Okay. Don't know what that is.
Outrageous Fortune, or Foul Play.
I'll say Outrageous Fortune.
That's correct.
That's correct.
You're so annoying.
No idea.
The person, Goldie Hawn.
Okay. You like Goldie Hawn?
You never seen Bird on a Wire?
No.
You should see Bird on a Wire.
Is it good?
My memory of it is that it's good.
Okay.
It's been 20 years probably since I've seen it, but
All right, James.
okay.
This has you written all over it.
Okay.
Drama.
Okay.
At my start, Maggie has died and left behind a grieving husband and son.
The Road?
No. I show Rob Reiner explaining that dating these days means discovering tiramisu. It's a word salad. It's like Mad Libs. I show Rob Reiner explaining that dating these days means discovering tiramisu.
I don't even know what that means.
Tiramisu is a dessert.
I know what, yeah.
Rob Reiner is a director.
Tiramisu is like something people didn't discover? Like it's rare? Or
I think his point in the film is that you go on lots of dates and so you end up eating lots of desserts. So you like have a lot of tiramisu.
Gotcha.
And you realize that it's like, taking over the dessert market.
Sure. 3 Men and a Baby.
No. Nora Ephron wrote and directed me.
I don't think it's Mixed Nuts, but
She's from Massachusetts.
I'm going to guess Mixed Nuts.
No. The Empire State Building is where my two stars finally meet.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
I bet you have.
Muppets Take Manhattan.
No. Rob Reiner, surprisingly absent in that film.
There's some of like people.
I bring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks together between Joe versus the Volcano and You've Got Mail.
Sleepless in Seattle?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Those were the worst clues to that movie. All right. Let's see if I can knock it out.
You need to know the common connection between these two.
And the name of the person.
Yeah. This is your Hail Mary, James.
Okay.
Hot Shots. What About Bob? And Jaws. I feel like this is doable, James. Hot Shots. What About Bob? And Jaws.
I mean, it's doable if I can pull the guy's name.
Okay.
The question is, can I pull the name?
The name
of the guy.
I had to think of Jerry Maguire.
Sure.
Could
but
be
that
Jerry.
was a movie title, not an actor's name.
That's true. You've never
I'm going to start listing people it's not.
Okay, list people who it's not.
It's not Dennis Quaid. It's not Dennis Hopper. It's not
Dennis Rodman?
Rodman.
But what if it was?
Not Dennis the Menace.
Would you watch Jaws as acted by the Bulls and
the 90s, the mid 90s Bulls? Yeah. Absolutely.
I would watch that. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to annoy me so much that I'm not going to get this person's name. He's
a known entity.
Yeah, he's in Meet the Fockers. He's in other things.
Ooh. Both?
Both of those things.
What's his middle name? Maybe let's start with the middle name.
No.
And work our way backwards.
He doesn't have 3 names like that.
Okay. Was he born in Massachusetts?
He plays the scientist.
The scientist
who studies sharks in Jaws. And what's the other movie?
There's Hot Shots.
Right,
and what about Bob?
He's not in Hot Shots. He plays the opposite of
what's his name?
That guy. I can't think of a single name. He plays opposite Bill Murray.
Dennis Rodman.
He plays opposite Bill Murray
in
What About Bob?
This is your Hail Mary, James.
I love What About Bob. I actually dressed like Bob one year.
You did? I was there. I was at that Halloween party.
Too bad I didn't dress like the other guy, Richard Dreyfuss.
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, that took so long to get to.
James, 0 points on that one.
Who went first? You went first.
Yeah, we both got the same number.
Let's go one more round. Okay. Ready?
I'm going to pick a good one for you.
Okay. This is a horror movie. Your favorite genre, Zach. Horror. My director makes his trademark cameo in me, this time as the man in the cowboy hat.
Can you read that again?
My director makes his trademark cameo in me, this time as the man in the cowboy hat.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's a Hitchcock film. What's the genre again?
Horror.
Okay. So I think it's
this is a horror film.
So I think it's a Hitchcock film, of which there are a lot. So I'll say Psycho.
Psycho.
That's correct.
So annoying. All right, here we go. Bonus to get rid of the 1 point you just earned.
Thank you.
Bull Durham. The Great Santini. Wow, that's the second time that movie's
coming
come
up a lot. Do we need to see The Great Santini?
Tender Mercies. I don't think you've seen any of those. Well, you've seen Bull Durham. Bull Durham.
I'll say Tender Mercies is the outlier.
No, you finally got one wrong.
Okay.
The answer was Bull Durham.
Okay.
And the person was Robert Duvall.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, James, your last one.
Okay.
It's comedy.
Of course it is.
Funky Cold Medina. Singer. Tone Loc. Plays my Emilio E.
Emilio Estevez plays my Emilio E.
Yeah.
Plays my. I don't even know what that is. That English? Can you read it like a normal person?
I don't know if I can.
Read it like a normal sentence.
Funky. This is not a normal sentence, James. Funky Cold Medina singer Tone Loc plays my Emilio E. Okay.
Tone Loc.
Funky Cold Medina singer Tone Loc plays my Emilio E.
He's my Emilio E. House Party?
No. Lauren Hawley screen tested for me, but gave up her role to Courtney Cox.
This is a movie that Courtney Cox is in?
And not Lauren Hawley.
Right.
So erase every Lauren Hawley
movie. The only
movie.
movies Courtney Cox are in that I can remember. I'm sure she's in others.
Okay.
But she's most known for Scream.
But multiple Screams. So which Scream?
Is it a Scream? You're telling me it is a Scream?
I'm not telling you anything, James. I'm not telling you that.
Scream.
No. My oddball private eye specializes in animals.
Oh yeah, she was in that movie too. Something Pet Detective. Something
Is it
Pet
late?
Detective.
Is it late for you? Is it
no,
past your
it's
bedtime?
really not that late. It's Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
I'm sorry, it's Ace Ventura : Pet Detective.
Sure. Ace Ventura: Pet
That's
Detective.
correct.
I think I get that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got that. Okay, but let's take a Hail Mary.
Okay. To get rid of the
Shall we?
3 I
Yeah.
just got?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm pretty sure even if I got this dead on the nose, you win.
You think?
Yes.
The original Kings of Comedy, Above the Rim, and Soul Food.
I have to guess the movie? What if I just guess the person and not the movie?
Then you get my respect.
But not a point.
What's your person?
I think it's like Bernie Mac.
It is Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Which ones is he in?
Sounds like he's in all 3 of those movies, though.
Which one is he
Give me the
definitely
3
in?
movies again.
How'd you pull Bernie Mac from this?
Give me the 3 movies again.
The original
He's
Kings
definitely
of
in
Comedy.
the Kings of Comedy.
Okay. Above the Rim
Mm-hmm.
and Soul Food.
I feel like he's more likely in Soul Food than Above the Rim.
Why is that, James?
Because Soul Food is a comedy and Bernie Mac's a comedian, and I don't think Above the Rim is a straight comedy.
Is that like a basketball movie?
It is a basketball movie, but it still could have had Bernie Mac in it because Bernie Mac doesn't always do 100%, Zucker Brothers style comedy stuff. So I'm going to say Above the Rim.
Soul Food. Soul Food.
Well, it's fitting.
Okay, total scores.
I'm going to have like 30 and you're going to have like 4.
No. It's not that bad. After 6 rounds, you have 21 and I have 3.
Oh my gosh. So ridiculous. I do want to play this again though, because I think I got crappy cards.
You think you did?
If I had gotten your cards, this would have been a very different game.
You got Braveheart, Sleepless in Seattle.
No, it's not the
Ace
name
Ventura,
of the movie. It's the
Sleeping Beauty.
It's Crocodile Dundee giving you that's not a knife, this is a knife for number 2. You know what I mean? That's insane.
It's pretty good.
But
your number 2 was I have a princess named Aurora.
Jim Lovell. That question would have gotten me number 1. And if it hadn't gotten me number 1, number 2, I team up Tom Hanks and Gary Sinise for the second time would have given it to me.
I didn't get there.
You didn't have to.
Not everyone knows the name Jim Lovell, James.
Well, I do.
Well, yeah, that's because you're a level head.
I'm completely level head. All right. Thank you for listening to this episode 536 of the Cinereelists. We appreciate your listenership. Don't forget, find us on YouTube. Watch us there. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review and send us a listener email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. You can also follow us on social media on TikTok.
Do it.
Instagram,
Follow
Facebook,
us.
Twitter.
Follow them.
Or you can follow me.
Don't.
On my Twitter or Letterboxd account at YoJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shabin. That's SHAWBIN.
Right. Next week, Zach will be out of town.
No.
And Kyle.
Oh, I will. Will I?
Kyle and I
will
be doing a top 10, last 10 that we already recorded.
Nice. It's my son's birthday party.
Next week. Yep. And I will be in Georgia. So none of us will be here. So we thought ahead.
You pre-recorded.
We pre-recorded. Yep. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.